All right, guys. Hi, I'm Dave Sheltema. I'm with Make Magazine. I'm an assistant technical editor, and we are going to talk about getting started with the BeagleBone Black. How many of you guys have heard of the BeagleBone or Beagle boards before? Okay, so a few guys. So what the BeagleBone is this is Boris, the Beagle, and he's the mascot for the board. And here's the Beagle board itself. So Boris is 5 years old, and a lot of people don't realize that the project is this old. A lot of people think it began with the BeagleBone Black. There were actually two boards that were bigger. They didn't fit inside an Altoids tin. This one isn't an Altoids tin, but you can see it's really small and compact. So here is the board itself. It's a TI Satara chip. It's a gigahertz. It's got 512 megs of RAM on it, and there's a micro SDI. So if you're looking where's the video out, it's actually small, and that probably gives you a better overview. You can see all the various functions and breakouts for the board. So what we're going to do today is actually look at what your experience is with the board when you just get it out of the box. So the board, like I said, looks like this. It comes with a USB cable, and I just plugged it into my laptop. Now, I'm not doing that today to show you because it can be a little dicey doing a presentation and hoping it comes up. I assure you it does, but so here's, while we wait for that, I'm showing you a schematic because the BeagleBone is not just open source running Linux, it's open hardware. So this is a schematic of the actual board. You have access to this. You could make your own Beagle boards. It could be challenging, but you know, if you're an electrical engineer and you want to do that, it is possible. So capes, right? Boris is dressed up. He's a superhero. I've got a prototyping cape here. You can see there's nothing really on it, and it just fits on top of my Beagle. And what this will do is there are capes that allow you to do things like adventure under the sea. You guys have probably seen David Lang's open ROV project. If you haven't, he's way out over by the food area, and he's got an underwater robot that can go 300 feet under the water, adventuring around. There's a guy over there who has an FPGA cape. There are people back there. When you leave tonight, you'll see lights that are making a big Maker Faire logo. That's run by a BeagleBone. It's a very, very powerful chip and board. So we're going to jump over here. You guys notice in my browser, I'm at a 192. I'm at a private IP space, and that's being served up. This is the board that's serving it up. It's on the USB. So the USB has its own IP. That's connected to my laptop. I'd hold it up, but the AV stuff would go all over. So I don't want to do that. But you see right here where there's green, that's actually telling me that my board is connected to the website. Well, the website's on the board. And now I can start to do things with the board itself. Right on the left-hand side, you see these various commands that they're just functions. We're going to go to Get Platform. You see I'm still green. And so here's the JavaScript right here. I'm going to run it. And it spits out, all right, I've got a BeagleBone Black. My version number it's actually an A5. It just has a 0 in front of it. And so you can see, obviously I didn't type this in, but you can interact with the board right from your browser, right from the JavaScript. So there's a library that runs in Node.js called BoneScript. You guys are lucky because the guy who does BoneScript is right over there in red, Jason Kreidner, and he's going to be talking after me about how to do really, really cool stuff. I'm just kind of getting you into it. So still on the left side of the page, you can see that there are demos. So I can actually learn how to build a temperature sensor. So you see you have the fritzing diagram, you have the wiring that you need to do. So this is a breakout board for temperature and barometric pressure that you can just buy from Adafruit. So you buy a BeagleBone Black, you buy a barometric pressure and temp sensor, and a couple wires, and you've got something fun to interact with, and the code's written here. So this is this code sometime. So you can see the temperature. I think I have a bad wire, so carrying around in my bag all day. But you can see how it would spit out, the readings. And what's cool about this is sometimes when you're on a cape, the sensor can be a little bit more finicky, right? Sometimes it's reporting it's hotter than it actually is. Yesterday when I had this working, it said it was 85, and I don't really think it was 85 degrees. But then you can just go in and manipulate it, right? So this cell right here for the JavaScript, I can write in line right now and program on it, and then execute that code. There's an IDE called Cloud9. Again, this is all on the board. You probably have tried to use your cell phone here and you can't, right? I'm not on any Wi-Fi. I'm just served up over the USB. So Cloud9 is connecting. This is also a Java script environment. So I could take a little tutorial. I've already done that, but it's great to check it out. You can see I can just code. This is an IDE, full-fledged. One cool thing to note that isn't necessarily said in the instructions is if you see this auto run folder right here, you can actually put one of your JavaScript files in that, and it will execute on boot. And this is really cool because you don't have to mess around with the Linux, right? You can just write your code in Cloud9, put it in the auto run, and you're executing as soon as the board has power. And I think that's really robust, really robust out-of-box solution. So anyway, do you guys have any questions about the BeagleBone Black or about the Linux, how to access it, or yeah? Can we, guys, can we get a little mic for him? No, we don't? Okay, so if you can really speak up. Yes, thank you. That is a great question. All of this stuff is pre-installed, and so honestly, all I did to get this talk ready to show you the board was I put a cape on it, and remember the cape is just like this. So my cape has a little breadboard on it, and it has a temperature and barometric pressure, and then it has some wires. But I didn't install any crazy packages. I didn't have to install the IDE. Out of box, it's all on an eMMC, which is basically a storage device right on the board. So it comes shipped to you with all of this on it. So there's no Wi-Fi adapter on the board. The board comes with a single USB-A, and you can use a Wi-Fi adapter of your own. And as with any of these boards, like the Raspberry Pi or the BeagleBone Black, you want to have a powered hub, just so when you're throttling data, the amperage is going to go up. You don't want to mess up the power to the board. Weird things can happen. So one thing you'll find online is people are saying the Wi-Fi doesn't work. That's not true. It was an older image where they didn't have the firmware of the Wi-Fi. So if you see that, don't get scared off. It's not accurate. If you just download the latest image, which the boards are shipping with, you'll be fine. So any others from the back? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so the question's about connectivity, right? So right now, I'm using just the USB, and I think you were asking, is there a Wi-Fi on it? Is that, or? Sorry? You can use this interface, yeah, you add the adapter, and I'm not sure I'm getting your question, so we can talk with me after. So any more questions? Yeah, you're gonna really have to shout since you're the third row. Okay, so there's the USB, there's the A, and then you have the power. So you just, Jason, can the power one be sort of tweaked to be a host, or? Okay, all right, so it does. All right, there you go. So if you have any super technical, Jason's the guy to talk to. So I'm gonna, any more questions? Yes. Yes, yes. So it's So it's running. So it's OPKG is for the angstrom. It ships with angstrom. You can get Debian to run. You can get Ubuntu. I've heard good things about Fedora possibly getting a lot of support. You actually can even run Windows CE on it. Yeah, I know. Bad faces, I know, but you can do it. You can get BSD to run on it. So it's really an ideal platform for embedded development, but it's also a platform that shouldn't be scary. You shouldn't see all these Rails and think, I can't, how am I going to remember all of this? You should see it as a way to build off of, right? You have a lot of potential. And so yeah, I've got stickers for everyone. So if you want to come up and see if you grab a few stickers, that's cool. Also stay around because Jason Kreidner, the co-creator of BeagleBoard, is going to be talking, and he's right after me. So we're going to do a quick setup with him, and you guys will be blown away by the cool stuff he's going to show you. So thanks a lot for coming out today, and enjoy Maker Faire.